For another lovely day of streaming. And first we're going to do an Aether Current quest that I missed, and I've kind of changed my mind a little bit how I'm going to do the Aether Current side quests, because I had forgotten. They lead to a chain of quests, and only the first one is blue. So I'm going to do that one, do that whole quest chain, just so, you know, we get the full story. And then we'll move on back to the MSQ. So, just a recap of what happened for the rest of the chain that we started in Thavnair. That Aura girl who was terrified of elephant people, she basically generally got over her fear of it, and then helped discover did a investigation into some thefts that were happening there in the town, and you know, caught the culprit, and now she's going to stick around town and keep earning her living now that she's gotten over her fear. So, traveling down here to Labyrinthos, and I am doing side quests as different jobs than Dancer to just get their levels. At least get them each to level 81 so that I can just jump into dungeons with them to get them leveled later. That's currently my plan anyway, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to, at the moment, test out the new summoner. You can kind of see, very sadly on my bar currently, all the abilities that are no longer there because I haven't cleaned up this bar at all. I probably should. Yeah, put that there. Okay. Yeah, we could just, like, eliminate this bar entirely. But anyway. This is what my main bar looks like currently. It's got the summons on the far left, my main rotation on the far right, and I haven't done much playing around with it yet. I did a little bit of attacking a training dummy, but I haven't really done much actual, like, fighting with it yet. So we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, we have to go way down here, because we have to go back to the agronomics to get to this side quest. And unfortunately, there is no quick and simple, easy way to it. I have to go all the way around. Seems to be another case of giant map, not enough aetherites, at least until we can fly. It'll probably be much improved when we're able to fly. But for now, in order to get to where we can fly, we have to take the long way. Labyrinthos is a very interesting place, I think. Like, just the whole concept. Like, it was supposed to be a storage room, and then they literally made it into a landscape for the purpose of research. And it's just like, wow. You people certainly don't do things halfway, do you? Anyway, we are now approaching our destination. Let's go ahead and get our little buddy out. And there's now a cast time for summoning your carbuncle, so that's a thing. Alright, Distractive Archivist. Oh, dearie me. My sweet Shaggles, or one of the Archeon's precious samples, has fled. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? My apologies. I am Noelle Tia, an archivist. The Archeon is home to various samples collected from all across the star, and one such specimen has just escaped. A young troll, to be specific. Oh, I hope he hasn't been set upon by local predators. Listen, I promised to compensate you, so could you please help me retrieve the specimen? My My thanks. I will continue my search of the area. I'd like you to check the 33rd facet. Once you've had a comprehensive look about, please meet me at the Archeon to report your findings. Okay then. I have to go find a baby troll? Didn't really think trolls made particularly good pets, but we'll see. Okay. Doop a doop boop 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 boop. Go, Carbuncle, go. And if you can't tell, I have Shallon's favorite color as amber, and topaz slash citrine is the closest thing to that you can get. So just orangey in general is kind of just her thing, her favorite color. Although I personally like her in greens and blues. She likes orange. It's that weird dichotomy of your character having a different opinion than you. You learn all about that when you become a writer. Sometimes you have to argue with them. For example, I actually argued with Shallon for a long while about her relationship with Xenos, because I was like, no, you're in love with Amric. And then she was like, no, I love Xenos. I'm like, took me a while, and finally she agreed. No trolls, perhaps further in. So now she is with Xenos, and honestly now I wouldn't have it any other way. I really love their dynamic. Especially with how this expansion is shaping up to be. Doop a doop boop boop. Alrighty. All the freaking stupid mushrooms. My kitten is sniffing my toe. Fine, fine, I'll kill this thing. Alright, so first we want to summon Bahamut. We're gonna do this, and this, and this. We're gonna do this too. That, and instead. Okay. You know what, just because we can. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Well, I have my gemstones now. I will figure out how this works over time. Searching, searching, searching. Errant troll is nowhere to be seen. Well, Atia may have had better luck. May have had better luck, but first, we're going to do this. I don't think I have some more of the attacks, because I think the more attacks appear later for this, so I'll probably figure it out at some point. Okay, we have force attacks here with our little Titan friend. Alright, do that, do that. And next we should summon Bahamut, but okay, Searing Light, I guess that's what the, whatchamacallit did before. Okay, so doing Energy Siphon gives you Ruin 4. I'm not sure what else gives you Ruin 4. Oh, I am in pain. Perhaps I should summon... Alright, we're fine. I didn't need to summon Phoenix. Again, still kind of figuring out what I'm doing. What are you nosing about there, cat? Alright, so where do we meet this guy? Alright, back up. There is a slight glare on my TV, making it a little hard to see things when you're in the dark, but I can make my way through with some effort. Ooh, bonus experience. Might stop and do that since it seems to be on the way. Hopefully I won't regret it. It's hard to single target with Summoner, unfortunately. Oh, there's more people here, so... Alright. Do Titan first because I say so. Okay, well, that's how I do. Okay. It's still taking a little bit of getting used to. I'm sure I'll figure out more over time. Someone just randomly healed me. Thank you, person. I think they healed me. Maybe. Alright. Welly. I see. I was unable to find the specimen either. However, I did meet someone who claimed to have seen it in Mornvale Forest. Let us head there and see if we can track it down. Okay. All right. Yes, there can be no doubt. These are Shaggle's footprints. Shaggles. Ahem. I have uncovered the specimen's trail. It should be close. If you find it under the threat of local fauna, you may dispatch it to assailants. Okay then. Literally the only thing I have this bar for at the moment is just for the Swift Cast Resurrection combo. I think I have everything else I need elsewhere. Oh, there's Noelle. And there's Shackles. And there's a troll. Hello, troll. Okay. That is a tiny troll. Hello, things. I need to lock onto you. Okay, that was relatively painless. Hello, Bahamut. You are large. This thing is so small compared to, like, its parents. Oh, I'm so glad you're unharmed. You're all safe now. Come on, let's go home, sweetie. I'm sure those were actually its parents. Grillin's buffoon? What? Did that thing just talk? The Archeon is under threat. I must do something, grr. You can talk? Grr, you can understand me? I guess I do have the echo. Wait, are you able to communicate with him? Yes. It's probably the echo. Incredible, I've never met someone with such a skill before. This bundle of joy was born in Labyrinthos. However, he was abandoned by his mother and in quite the state by the time we found him. He possesses remarkable intelligence for one of his kind. We've elected to use him as part of a study into the effects of growing up in an artificial environment. I had seen him making gestures that indicated he'd been reading the tomes here, but I thought he was just copying those around him. To think he actually understands speech. Though I do wonder exactly why you are able to understand him and I am not. I'm sort of special. Really? Oh, what I wouldn't give to understand him too. You possess the echo, don't you? I find it difficult to grr the way your kind do, but I suppose it makes sense that you understand my general sentiments. I happen to learn of said power from the tomes of the Archeon. Honestly, that buffoon over there is surrounded by a sea of knowledge and he makes no effort to engage with it. Grr. He's not very complimentary of you. I'm just saying. At any rate, I'm glad to finally have someone to talk to. As I was saying earlier, the Archeon is in grave danger. Some girlish gleaner managed to bring woodworms in with them during the visit. If we leave them be, they're bound to cause irreplaceable damage to the materials at the facility. I tried my best to tell that buffoon, but it was no use. That's why I took a chance and went in search of some of my own kind to see if they would help. But you saw how that turned out. Well, what's he saying? There's woodworms, apparently. They're going to destroy the place. Oh, dearie me. Still, it was most courageous of him to try and solve this issue on his own. Now that we're aware of it, we need to sort out this pest problem at once. Would you mind helping out a little longer? You're the only one who can understand him, after all, and he seems moms ahead of us with regard to the situation at hand. Leave it to me. Alrighty. Again, hoping this quest chain isn't too terribly long. Okay, Shaggles. Well, Tia. Your help is indispensable if we're to get Shaggles' advice on dealing with the infestation. Allow me to explain a few things first. The staff at the Archeon regularly use alchemic pesticides to keep the place free from harmful gurrs. Unfortunately, the woodworm I've found seems to be entirely resistant to that type of pesticide employed at the facility. I skimmed a few tomes, including the New Eorzean Geographic, but I couldn't manage to identify the Vilekin in the Archeon. I'm guessing it must be a new species. Grr. We won't get very far if we know nothing about the enemy, so I went ahead and captured one of the woodworms. We can try showing it to someone who knows more about this sort of thing than I do. What he said. I see. In that case, I think we'd best be served by a biologist at the Merrill Agronomics, shall we? Back down there again? Why? Why must you make things so complicated? I have to go the long way. They can't make it easy for us in any way. Up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Until we finally get access to elevators or something. That'll probably make it faster. But in the meantime... Doop-a-doop-boop-boop, boop-a-doop-boop-boop-boop-boop. Go, Carbuncle, go! Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-boop-boop-boop. One of the side quests I did in Charlian earlier this morning, was very sad, because there's this little Makote girl who had a little carbuncle doll that she had made come to life by just giving it ether. And she said she wanted it because her friend Big Moon had talked about her friend who could summon a carbuncle. And it was kind of heartrending because you can easily tell that that was Moon Burrito she was talking about. And she was like, I want to show Moon when she gets back how much I've grown. And it's just, aw. And of course we didn't say anything, because like, how could we tell this precious little girl that her neighbor / friend is gone forever? It was so sad. But it is kind of nice seeing people actually talk about Moonbrita, because she, except for like on rare occasion when Urianger mentions her, she has been basically forgotten since post A Realm Reborn. Like, she has not been... It's like, it's hardly like she was even there. She was there for so brief a time, and then, you know, then she was gone and kind of forgotten by most everyone. So it's nice seeing people bring her up again. It's like, in all the lists of people who, you know, we've lost along the way, you know, we always see people talking about Ashifan and Ysael and Minfilia and all of those who we lost along the way, but like, no one ever remembers Moonbrita. And it's really sad, because Moonbrita was a really neat character, and now and then she was taken from us all too quickly, and I guess because she wasn't with us terribly long, people just don't remember her. So it's nice to see people talking about her here. Maybe we'll actually, you know, remember her more often. One can only hope. Okay. Shaggles, what have you to say? Don't grr at me, I can talk to him myself. I can't talk to him myself. I went ahead and told him everything. I have to admit that I hesitated to bring up Shaggles' role, though. Your troll showed me the woodworm sample, but the best I can do is confirm that I've never seen it before. I'd say your hypothesis that it's an undiscovered species is highly likely. In order to ascertain how best to deal with the insect, we would need to learn about its original habitat. Grr. Well, I found it clinging to a Thavnarian tool used to make medicine that was recently brought to the Archeon. It was delivered by a Rodigan gleaner. Let's go ask Grr about it. Well, what are we waiting for then? To the Archeon! Ah! No! Why? That troll truly speaks to you, doesn't it? Perhaps the woodworm is not the only new species in our midst. Where is it? It's back up there again. You know what? Yes, I'm spending 70 gil to do this, but it's 70 gil. I've currently got almost 3.5 million. I should be fine for this little teleport. It'll save time in the long run, and I think the time is worth the gil in this case. Hold on. Not in here. Around the back. They play anti-tower music here, and it's weird. I'm not used to hearing anti-tower music outside the anti-tower. They don't even play it in any of the deep dungeons. Oh, is it actually down? Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, that's dumb. Oh, that is so dumb. Oh, I am mad about that. Is it actually... I mean, this is the Archeon, so... Can I take the lift down now, please? I would really like to be able to take the lift down. It would save me so much time. Oh, no! That's so rude. Ugh, I am pissed off about that. I'm very pissed off about that. Well, I thought to save time and I wasted more time instead because stupidity. They said the Archeon, I went to the Archeon and they're like, but it's actually on the lower level. Herp derp skirp anger. Wish they could have just made it more clear, like say Archeon lower levels or something. lower Archeon, you know? When you say Archeon, I think you mean, like, where the aetherite is. Now, I'm sure in the future that will be the case when we're able to use the lift, but for now, it does nothing for us. Little quality of life complaints. Especially when the maps are so big, the way to where we need to go is such a long, dumb route. It's like, yeah, I'd say I'm not a fan about this part of Labyrinthos' design. It's just such a time waster. To get to the upper and lower levels. It's like, I'm sure it'll be so much better when we're able to take the lift, and even more when we're able to fly. But as it is now, it is just a pain in the butt to navigate this place. Alright. Alright, I've had enough complaining. I've had my spiel. We can stop now. We're fine. I'm fine. Wasn't that big of a annoyance. More just trying to find something to babble about while I make this trek. Okay. Should be up here. This is where I need to go. Alright, Welly. I wonder if I'll be able to talk to Shaggles someday too. I'd love to know what he thinks of me. No you don't. Shaggles. That's the gleaner who delivered the tool. Let's ask her where she got it. Oh, that? I found that in Thavnair. To be more specific, at the Alchemist Outpost, the Great Work. 'Twas used by the first alchemist, they say, and there are few tools still like it still existent. Or extant? I spent days arguing my case before its owner agreed to hand it over. It's all coming together now. The woodworm was probably exposed to so many alchemic concoctions in the settlement that it developed a hardy resistance to substances like the pesticide. Let's waste no time in gurring the biologist about this. I feel like I've seen that little troll in the Archeon. Is it alright for him to be out and about like this? Oh, well, circumstances have required us to set him free for a bit. Closely monitored, of course. Now, where did he go? Oh my, we should make for the Merrill Agronomics straight away then. Is he another one with that tail type? I swear I'd never seen any NPCs with that tail type before Endwalker. They usually have the fluffy tail like what Graha has. I see a few with tails like Y'shtola's and like mine, which Y'shtola and I have slightly different kinds of tails. But I don't think I've ever seen any with the ones with the lion tuft on them. I know that's a player option, but I don't think I'd ever seen an NPC with one like that before. And now this is the second one I've seen. Hooray! Why is there a tomato in the middle of the path? And an onion. Ah! These things. The vegetables are nightmare fuel, especially after having done friggin' some of the Hildebrand garbage. I'm not a fan of the Hildebrand quest, in case you didn't notice. Dwelly. I suppose I really should return Shaggles to the Archeon soon. Oh, ignore me, I'm just thinking aloud. Go on then. Well, that certainly makes a lot of sense in light of all that's happened thus far. I happen to know that the alchemic pesticide used at the Archeon was created in Thafnir, so it's hardly surprising that our woodworm friend has developed a resistance to it. Now shall we solve this conundrum? It may not be the most inventive solution, but what if we were to make an even stronger pesticide? But how? Assuming that's a yes, I'll need you to get your hands on a luncheon toad's poison gland. I'll take care of the rest. Oh my, despite their adorable name, those toads are not to be trifled with. Think you're up to it? The buffoon clearly isn't, so I'd say you're our only hope. Leave it to me. I take it he skipped right to asking you for your assistance. You'll find the toads roaming near Numa, I do believe. Do take care now. Alright, off to Numa. I have seen the luncheon toads. They are very colorful. It's kind of odd. Wait, that's the way to ride on the polar bears? That is hilarious. I have to say. They're like surfing. I do believe this guy is going the same direction I am. Because I think we both just picked up the same quest. Unless he picked up the one that I just did and he's going to turn right here and go up that path. Nope, he's following me. Now are we going to have to fight for a toad? I'll live with having that thing follow me for a moment. Alright, well there's plenty of toads for all of us, I guess. Let's see. Doop. Okay. Now we'll get Titan out here. Titan no longer buffs me. Alright, that's all I needed. Cool beans. Let's go. There's only a certain amount of time you can do the attacks for your summons. Fascinating. And now it's gone. Couldn't make use of the rest of Titan, but I still have a Garuda to use. Thankfully, it seems the gems stick around if you haven't used them. Oh, did I just see someone flying? They have gone far into the game. That tomato's gonna see me, isn't it? Yep, I knew it. Shaggles! Grr to have you back. Now hurry up and give that toad's innards to the biologist. Glad to see you return safely. You may give the spoils to our friend here directly. No, I don't need to see, thank you. Oof, judging by the smell, I think it's safe to assume you got what I asked for. Allow me to tuck it away before we all pass out from the stench. Just pull it out of my pocket. Here you go! Why does he look like freaking Ilbert? Out of smell, out of mind. Now all I've got to do is make the... Now I've got all I need to make the more potent pesticide stuff and things. Hold on just a moment. Oh, it's a Duskwhite. Director? What exactly are you making here, and why does it smell like the inside of a toad? And you, Nwelitia, I believe your job requires you to bring any missing specimens back to the Archeon, not take them on a tour of the realm. Please, allow me to explain. I can hear it talking to me. But seriously, that guy looks just like Ilbert with blonde hair. I see why you feel such drastic action is needed. However, I cannot permit you to release such a potent pesticide inside my Archeon. It could damage that which is housed within, and there is no telling how it might affect Labyrinthos' environment once the fumes inevitably escape the building. Whilst the pesticide we currently use may be on the weaker side, it is also one of its strengths. It has negligible impact on the environment. You clearly haven't given your plan much thought. Fear not, I shall come up with a solution in due course. For now, let us return the specimen to the Archeon. There is little to be gained by allowing a troll to ruminate in such matters, no matter how odd it may be. Give me another chance. I can't sit back and watch those marvelous books be destroyed. Is it addressing me? Yes, it is. Doesn't want the books to be destroyed. It truly wishes to protect the tomes so strongly? Very well. In light of you having discovered the woodworm issue in the first place, I shall grant you one more chance to present a solution. Should you prove capable of ridding us of the infestation, I promise to cease treating you as a mere specimen. Assuming that you come up with a solution all on your own, of course, you are forbidden from consulting the researchers. Understood? Nod. I am Baby Troll. I am Shaggles, and I am smart. Well, I killed that toad for nothing! Yay! Alright, Welly, what do we have? Oh, I'm so sorry you got dragged into this. It's all my fault for acting so rashly. Oh look, I can get some Archon loaf, lols. Grr, I worry that I won't be able to come up with a way to solve our problem. Let me grr and think about it on my own for a bit. It's alright, you don't need to interpret for me. Even I can tell he's struggling with the weight of this task. You know, creatures like trolls tend to perk up when someone pets them. Why don't you show Shaggles some affections? He might pretend not to like it at first, but trust me, he'll warm up to it soon enough. Need to go pet the baby troll! The talking baby troll. Because reasons. Alright. This way? Let's go ahead and get the carbuncle out. Person is riding on a triple triad card. Shaggles. Oh, Shaggles. Now, how did they simulate a sky, I wonder? Like, that's, like, is it just giant TV screens? Because, I don't know, I guess they do have some technology. Is this Mandragora gonna follow me all the way here? Okay, it's done. Alright. Shaggles. Grr, I can't come up with anything good. I'm just a little creature. Shaggles is down in the dumps. Perhaps petting him would cheer him up. Alright. Boop, boop. Pet, 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 pet. Ear scritches. Grr, what are you doing? I'm not a dog. No, but you are allowed to have ear scritches. If I can have ear scritches, you can have ear scritches. Grr. You know, I actually feel a bit better now. Nod. Seems like he's back to his old self. Listen, Shaggles, if anyone can do this, it's you. Grr, I'd normally call him a buffoon and move on, but the grr who nearly destroyed Labyrinthos' ecosystem by unleashing a super-strength pesticide. I'm the grr. If anyone's a fool, it's me. I know I'm forbidden from consulting the researchers, but can I ask you for advice? But I can ask you for advice, right? You must have fought your fair share of foes in your adventures. How do you take down the especially grr ones? Rise on my strength, focus on their weakness. I simply end them. I focus on their weaknesses, I guess. The woodworms do come from tropical climes, so their weakness would probably be freezing temperatures. Though if we make it too cold in the Archeon, we risk exposing the books to frost damage when all the moisture in the air freezes. Wait, the air. Deprive them of the air they need to survive. I bet we could starve the worms of oxygen with a gas emitted when you pour hydrochloric acid on limestone. We'll need to evacuate the staff and other living specimens, but it wouldn't damage the tomes or documents. We don't know how it'll work unless we grr it a go. Tia can get the acid, so you just need to find some limestone. There is more than enough for the taking at the 30 grr facet. Meet us at the Archeon once you have it. I get the impression you've come up with a solution. Would you mind filling me in? We're gonna poison everything. Brilliant, though I'd best at least pretend to be looking after Shaggles while I fetch that acid. Please do get that stone in the meantime. Let us poison! Ah, pet hot bars are still a thing. Ah. I mean, yes, pardon me, I'm still happy that the pets are still the pets, but at the same time, that pet hotbar is a little bit, it's a Corpicur with a different name, but it's still the Corpicur. And more of those freaking vegetables. Burp, 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 burp. To the limestone. And I'll have to double check the map to see if where I need to go is up or down, because apparently the Archeon is on both levels now. And when they say return to the Archeon, they could mean either one. Alright, I'm done. I'm done complaining about that. I'm done. It was a little thing, it's not worth dwelling on anymore. Doop doop boop boop. I want to be able to fly, and that is why I am suffering through all of this. Do, 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 do. I mean, this is a cute side quest series. It's just, again, not a fan of Labyrinthos' design overall at the moment. And I'm gonna have a mushroom notice me, aren't I? No? Okay. Let's pull off that piece of limestone. Oh, freaking stupid mushrooms. Leave me alone, mushrooms. Alright, here's more limestone. Alright, I have to go all the way through here and around. At least I'm on my carbuncle now, so I don't have to worry about these stupid mushrooms. Boop, 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 boop. And around this way. Alright. Here's the last limestone. Alright. Archeon. It is upper level. Okay. I'm close enough that I don't think I need to teleport. Alright. Hop, 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 hop. Hippity hoppity hoo. It still looks like Skyrim. Like, you can't look at this view and not think of Skyrim if you've played it before. Just saying. Alright. Alrighty, Shaggles. Oh, Shaggles. Do you not find the 33rd facet to be a bit scary? I'm terrible with gloomy places like that. Everyone's out and we've got the acid as promised. Really? Everyone's out? Did you keep your end of the bargain? Here, have your limestone, little guy. Minigurs, I'll be right back. Waiting. Waiting. I filled the test room with gas. Now we need only wait and see what happens. Grr. You know, I've been on my own almost as long as I can remember. I do recall that I constantly questioned my parents, which is probably what led them giving up on me altogether. That same intelligence, or belligerence, depending on who you grr, saw me rescued and brought here. It made me interesting, I suppose, but I've only ever been treated as a specimen. You're the first person I've been able to actually have a conversation with. For the longest time, the Archeon's books were my only friends. They were both my loyal companions and my window from which I gazed upon the outer world. That's why I can't stand by and let them be destroyed. Naturally, I would love for my intelligence to be recognized so that I might become a research grr in my own right, but more than anything, I want to protect the Archeon. It worked! It actually worked! The pests are no more and the tomes look good as new. Well done! Your method is both effective and safe. We shall waste no time in using it to rid the entire facility of woodworms. As promised, you will no longer be treated as a mere specimen. From now on, you are an apprentice researcher. Grr, thank heavens the Archeon will be safe once more. And allow me to thank you for everything. I couldn't have done it alone. My very first project as an apprentice will be to study how to produce sounds just like your kind do. After grr, if I want to be a researcher, I need to learn how to speak with people other than you. It's good to see Shaggles looking so pleased. Thank you for all you've done for us. Oh, but before you go, perhaps you could tell me what he thinks of me? He thinks you're a buffoon. He calls you a buffoon regularly. Is that so? But he's too adorable to be angry with. Come, let me pet you. Run away, run away! Cease this, you buffoon! I am no one's pet! No, come back! That's kind of cute. Just saying. It's all sorts of adorable. Okay. I really don't need any more food at the moment. I could just get more money. Eventually I'll be able to make my own food of this level. Run, Shaggles, run! And that is all the questy. Yay! Alright. Let's go back to Dancy Pantsy. And go back to Charlian. Oh, wait, I need to... Actually, I have Glamour Plate that I need to redo. Alright, hold on. Teleport. Charlian. I put on some new gear and I haven't gotten it glamored, so we'll have to switch there and back while we're here. Real quick. Shouldn't take long. Assuming that this teleport doesn't take long. Alright, let us... hello? I guess it just hasn't loaded. It should load, hopefully. We'll just... Ethernet. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. It's just taking a minute to load things. Alright. That is the annex. That's where we're going. And in here, after it loads. There we go. Alright, Kryl. Since there's been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings from our respective locales?
The time in Safnir has certainly been eventful.
Yeah, we found a dragon.
In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnair.
Right.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Frodola's report, they were unable to free the Emolja. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Afrit.
And then killed all the captives inside. Whee!
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal. Thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
Nice theory. We just need to put it to the test.
So we can hope. And I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Agreed, Stola.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostola, and myself.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Archosaurus by a considerable margin.
Are you sure Alphino's in the right group? He is a healer after all. I mean, I know we need a healer in our group,
If
but
you're
still.
to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
Agreed.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role.
I'd rather have
I
you
found
with me,
wielding a
Raha.
sage's armament to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
Okay, we'll take Alphino just so we can see what he's like, brand new and shiny.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Rads at Han of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
A military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Except they'll be dying of illness. It's like, alright, we all need to make sure we have the stuff to settle their stomachs when we get there. Because they're all gonna be dying upon entry. Ah! Loading. 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 One of these days I will have a PS5. Possibly, maybe, one can only hope. Alright. Okay. Let's see, the teleport thing will be one of these. There it is. Ugh. It's so expensive. We even have our little cheaper teleport boost on. Why did they have to make it so pricey? I know some people have a billion gil or thereabouts, but not all of us do. Alright. To the hatchery. Oh, nice pretty sunset out there. Also, just out of curiosity. Nope. Alright, cool. Alright. I didn't get my sightseeing log before heading out here before. Ooh! Look at that beautiful sunset. Oh my gosh. It's... the contrast is just so pretty. Ah, this game has an amazing skybox, I have to say. It is so pretty. And there lieth the Tower of Zot. I like my peacock. It is pretty, and it is friendly. And it can fly whenever I am not, or whenever I get my aether currents. It'll just take forever. Alrighty, this is where we are headed. Nabdeen? Our friend of Eorzea, we've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission into the tower, I'm told. The wording scales will be delivered soon. Till then, please stand by at the boat we've readied. When your fellows arrive, I will direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success. Ugh, if this is the future of aetherite travel, I think I'll stick to boats. No warning, however emphatic could have prepared me for that. On account of which we were a little late, but fighting fit. Mostly. Yep, I know. I know how it feels. Oh, hello. How you doing, Vritra? Varshan? My friends, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. You must be... should we still call you Varshan, I suppose? Indeed, it would not do to confuse our soldiers. Very well, then. For our part, we are humbled that you should see fit to entrust us with your warding skills. Please convey as much to His Excellency. One for each of you. Please accept them with my blessings. Our thanks. With these, we can go anywhere with those the blessing of light. Those with the blessing of light can go. Not only for this operation either, but all the ones to come. We can finally break your monopoly on primals. In that case, they're all yours from now on. No, I've been waiting for this day. I like having you all by my side, instead of me just having to go it alone. So have we, my friend, so have we. Even if everyone is amenable to it, let us review the strategy for good measure. As previously agreed, we will divide into two groups. Shalyn and her band will break through the tower's defenses and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners, who will doubtless want for healing due to the duress of repeated summonings. The primals which the tower bringeth forth shall be the deities of Thavnarian myth. As we have no prior experience with such foes, pray exercise the utmost caution when confronting them. We commence the operation at your word, my friend. For the people of Thavnar, nay, the entire world, we must prevail. Tower of Zot, now accessible. Hooray! We have our first dungeon. And I am going to do trust runs for these dungeons, so I'm not sitting here waiting forever in queue. Varshan. The Radiant Host and I will be watching from this outpost, ready to act at the first sign of unusual activity. May the scales serve you well and protect you in lieu of Vritra's fangs and claws. Though our parties are separate, I will trust in you, as I know you will trust in me. Let us both give it our all, and add another rousing chapter to the saga. You know, I guess she's a white mage, given her staff. They could almost actually be a light party themselves if Kryl was actually a DPS. Because Graha could act as tank, and then Shola and Kryl would be DPS and Urianger would be healer. That's just a cute little detail. This is the closest I've ever been to one of the towers. Such a sinister aura it exudes. It's been a while since I last took to the field, and I can't help but feel nervous, but with everyone at my side, I'm sure all will be well. Lest you worry, I've not forgotten my healing spells. Be it restoration or destruction, the sorceress can command whatever magics the situation requires. Aside from primals within the tower, we shall for a certainty encounter enthralled Imperial soldiers. Defenders conveyed hither by unknown means who will stop at nothing to hinder our efforts. My warding scale is safely tucked away. I'm ready whenever you are, Shalyn. I may not be the Azure Dragoon, former or otherwise, but I guarantee I'll give it as good as I get. Yes, but I want to see what Estinian's like, so I'll see what you're like later. I may have taken up new arms, but my role is unchanged. I am a healer through and through. Yet, in knowing who once wore this stage's mantle, I wonder, when all is said and done, will I look back on the battles I chose to fight with pride? With Y'shtola keeping them company, the other party will be able to hold their own against the enemy if needs be. So we can tackle our own task without worrying over them. Come, let us be about it. Graha can protect them too. He's all rounder. He can do anything he wants. This armor, blessed with Ratatosker's power. Interesting. He has named the armor Iceheart as well. Interesting. And now reach a scale. Much has changed for dragons to show me such favor. And with Nidhogg with me in spirit and in hand, no obstacle will bar our way. Alright, let us form our party.
Right then.
Huh. The portraits look rather different. Kind of grainy, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. They look like they could use some refinement. I'm just saying. They look really grainy, especially the new ones. Like Thancred still kind of looks like himself a little bit, especially on the left there. But you can see they're awfully like pixelated or something, and it's very odd. Anyway, register for duty. Here we are, first dungeon. No guarantees that I will beat any of the bosses on first try. Just saying. It might be a little difficult, especially if they're gimmicky. Let's go ahead and switch to AoE bar. They actually show Thancred turning on his tank stance. That's funny. They didn't do that in Shadowbringers. He just automatically had it on when we arrived. And I am not going to read what they say out loud. You can read it in the party chat to the side or whenever it says on top. Alright, I should probably pick Estinian as my dance partner. Just do my AoEs. Is that all Estinian's attacks? They're all bright and shiny like that? Goodness. Oh! I have the Spire! That's funny, Urianger is giving me buffs still. Oh, I have all 4 flowers, or feathers already. Wasn't expecting that. That's funny that Urianger can still give me stuff. I mean, it makes sense because... I mean, healers can target non-party members for things, so... Let's go ahead and buff Estinian and myself.
Underestimate me!
You're another one who says that. Okay, Estinian.
You're mine!
Yep, there they are. Alright, now we are on our own. You four stay safe. Especially you, Raha.
You're mine!
You know, I'd heard that they were supposed to be using AoEs more often, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They're still mostly focusing on one at a time. a feeling we're... Okay, we still have, it looks like, maybe one more enemy before boss. I will hold on to Devilment until we reach boss. Wouldn't do to have it on cooldown when we get there. It is nice that I'm getting my Esprit bar more consistently. That's another change that I really like they've done for Dancer. It's like still a little bit of RNG, but not as much RNG as it had been. Alright, here is first boss. And I have seen bits of all three bosses, so I have some idea what I'm doing, but not necessarily a lot. Alright. Don't have a dot. Remember that I don't have a dot. Don't need to be worrying about dots. Ow. Not talking much because I'm concentrating.
Underestimate me!
I really do like this mid-boss music. It is a jam. Bio. Thunder. Okay. Whew. Alright. Thank you for that shield, Alpha. No, I don't think I really needed it, but, you know, it's appreciated. No matter scouting, huh? Guess I'm gonna be going ninja at some point, or I can just go ahead. Well, no, I need to be at least 81 in order to be able to put it on. Ah! This is the first chance I've really gotten to really flex my dancing muscles in a while. Still nice. And I really like the improvements they've made. The changes. Guaranteed Esprit is definitely a plus. Ugh. That thing, these are creepy. Alright, continuing. Hyper-tuned. These things are creepy. Oh, it's one of those claws. Look at those claws. Get the feeling we're probably approaching the next boss at this point. Maybe one more group of mobs, but still would rather hold on to my Devilment just in case. Being able to consistently use Saber Dance is really nice. Ring of Healing, okay. This way. That was unkind. No Fandance 3s. Oh, more mobs. Well, it's taken longer to get there than I thought it would. Wait, the way these Tempered Imperials look, oh my goodness, they are turned into monsters. Wow, like, seriously. That is honestly creepy. Target accidentally targeting something. That's what's wrong. Alright, I'll hold on to my feathers for now. Not worth when there's only 2 enemies, I think. Alright. Another treasure coffer. Fending. I wonder if that's better than the earring I already have on my fending gear. We will see, we will see. Alright, here's our next boss. Alright. Let's go ahead and do that.
You're mine!
What? How was I standing in that? This is gonna hurt. Well.
My turn!
What? Alright. I'm not 100% getting this boss. Alright. Look for the one not... Okay. Alright. Okay. Well, I didn't die. I've made a few errors, but I'm still fine. Not sure how to avoid that. Sure, I will learn over time. Alright, this one. You have to find the one that's not emoting, I know that much.
Try and stop! You're mine!
Still not sure. Okay. Well, we beat the boss. I'm not sure how to avoid the temporal displacement, but I'm sure I will figure out. What did they say? Okay. It is still such a nice change, but the AoEs become dance steps. It's like the best change they could have made. It's even better than consistently getting a sprint. Well, I've made it through the first two bosses without dying. That's nice, at least. The second one wasn't very pretty. Keep an eye out for all the treasure things. Alright, there's only two. We can go single target. They seem to be concentrating on this one. Kill things faster, theoretically, if we focus. Dungeon should pretty definitely get me to level 82. Go Thancred. Go Thancred. Or Alphino can pull them. Lulz. There's a single change to Dancer that I don't like, to be perfectly honest. They are all actual improvements. Haven't had a chance to use improv in an actual battle yet, but improv is very situational regardless. Alright, there appear to be more mobs, but I think that's the boss arena, so I think we are approaching the end. it to the final boss. Now let's see if I manage to not die. No matter the cost, we must protect the tower. First time we have primals that can talk to us, apparently. At least lunar primals. The Magus sisters. All three of them, apparently. Alright. Okay. Let's see how this goes, shall we? Away from Thancred. Or not. Alphino, are you gonna be able to keep up with healing everyone, bud? Okay. I don't know if it's safe to be attacking them right now. Ah! Okay. Okay. Whew. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. It's a little scary, but we're fine. Chill now with Thancred. That's one down. Now we need to focus on this one. Thancred is using, or not, Estinian is using the limit break. Probably would have been better if I used the limit break, because then I could have hit both of them, but oh well. Didn't even notice we had the full limit break, because I'm concentrating so hard on staying alive. Shield us. finished without dying, yay! That makes me happy. Whew. Oh! Huh. Putting up my weapons was interesting, and I'm still doing the sad emote. Anytime I finish a dungeon these days, no more joy. Ooh, enhanced tech finish. What is that? Let's see. Bursting finish after executing technical finish. Technical finish becomes Tilana when under this effect. Ooh, better tech stepping. Ooh, I got the Reaper weapon. What have you to say, Thancred? Seems that seems to have been the limit to the tower's defenses. They were nimble fighters, I'll give them that. From what I can tell, the summonings appear to be over. No belief is sacred to these Philophoroi. Okay. Oops. Also, I think I would have default got something from the dungeon if it's following Shadowbringer's tradition. I will check that out whenever we are done with this cutscene.
Is everyone all right?
Yeah, we're
We
okay.
fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
The lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The aether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
Quagmire. That's a good word. I like that
believe we
word.
stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Stola?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look.
Are you sure that's okay, Stola?
Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core.
Stola?
A man's limb.
Stola?
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
Alright, Estinian, show us that OP-ness that you used. Did I really just say that? Show us how OP you are, like you did when you destroyed that cannon. Yep. Good man. You hold yourself back when you're in a party. A man's limb embedded in the core.
And that should be the end of it.
Poor Grail.
Now!
Now the tower is
My
collapsing
theory
and
that the
everyone's gonna
tower
die.
might come crashing down following the core's destruction doth appear to be correct.
Are we actually gonna save the
Wait for
captives?
you. And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
What of the prisoners below?
Yes, Raha, that's what I was worried about.
The very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves.
I pray I'm not too late.
Go, Graha, go! Do your stuff. Show us how epic you are, because I love you. Oh. Well, that's We're okay. Everyone's just scattered around here. Graha's just passed out entirely.
Oh, what happened? Where are we?
We appear to have destroyed the tower.
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
That you can probably thank Raha for. Yes, Shallan, go check on him. He's sleeping.
Graha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
Oh, you silly Billy. You are also OP and we love you.
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much aether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Come on, you gotta stay alive to take care of your nephew. Okay? Promise me?
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here.
Return them home?
There'll be much change for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Good point, good point.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
Good, Alice.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions!
Oh, hello, Roshan.
We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
It's gone. We destroyed it.
The
That
threat
guy
is
looks like
vanished,
Wittergelt.
and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Come on, Vritra, help us. Carry them on your back and in your claws. Well, managed to get through that relatively unscathed. Hooray! Estinian! Whew, carrying all those Montanga may have been a true struggle. Been the true struggle. Are the others around anywhere? No, those are just people. The liberated prisoners are being transported to Ratzatan for treatment. Alice and Yustela will oversee the administration of the tempering treatment with support from those who know a healing spell or two. We'll go and join them in the city once you've had a moment to catch your breath. I apparently need it. You may now enter the Tower of Zalt with a party of NPC avatars. Whee! Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Varshan bade us come to Magaduta at our earliest convenience. The others will join us once they have finished tending to the prisoners. Ah, wait. On second thought, you and Estinian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Work. We left Graha in the alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. Yes, please, Thancred. Don't let my brother get injured by anything. Don't let them harm a hair on his head. Just you and me, then. The guardsmen at the gate should wave us through. Should. Alright, off to Radzatan. Take care, Thancred. Actually, let me talk to you real fast. You're now a little excited. Perhaps it was Nidhana's rescue that brought them joy, but given their fascination with the Estinian, I'm not quite sure. Please! Please! Make sure my brother stays safe, because now I'm suddenly very scared for him. Do 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 do. Alright, it's chasing that person. Okay. It's not looking at me, and that's what's important. After being out in Bajja, the short reach of these enemies is like... I just kind of feel like, wait, they're done chasing me at this point? What? They're supposed to chase me for like 5 minutes. Alright. Wait, no. I cannot leave my post. Let's make your own way. Should you require directions in the city, the sentry station at the fountain atop the steps should be glad to assist you. I missed talking to Estinian. Dang it. Oh well. Missed his fluff dialogue. Okay. Estinian. Though I've been to Radzatan before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than risk getting lost, we had best ask for directions from the sentry at the fountain. Lead the way, and don't expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. Estinian is now accompanying you. Okay. Come with me, Estinian. Oh, Aethernets. Alright, you're overly practical. Name of the fountain? I have no idea. The fountains normally have names. Oh, Estinian. You live in Ishgard. Of course the fountain has a name. Don't you know the names of the fountains and stuff in Ishgard? Come on, boy. Ah, Mr. Shallon, I presume. I understand you are here for an audience with the satrap. If you require directions to Magaduta, I shall be glad to provide them. The satrap's residence is situated in Dharma, the highest part of Radzatan. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaars in the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed and the aether are disabled. Huh. Well then, we can't teleport to Radzatan! For a different excuse than why we couldn't teleport to Yulmore for most of the time. Whee! As such, I will provide you with an alternate path. First, please ascend the steps to this fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps, and upon ascending them, you will emerge at Pax's Path. Proceed through the large door on the right, and you will arrive at Ruveda Fibers. Within, you will find another sentry who will give you further guidance. In other words, we head up. Sounds straightforward enough. You heard the sentry, we head up. You're no fun, Estinian. Alright, alright, no aetherites that way, so we can't attune that, apparently. However, I'm assuming Estinian will continue following me as I go through the city. So this aetherite is supposedly disabled? According to the message on the base, the aetherite has been temporarily disabled. Well, yep. That is the excuse they give. Oh, there are shops on the other half. Wait, is that an inn? What is that? No, that's just hunting board, okay. Alright, tune to this one. None over that way. There is one over there. Alright, so we just have materia. Look, the Splendor's vendor. Rowena even has influence way out here. Script exchange. Collectible appraiser. Appraiser. And just a general merchant. Okay. Nope, not this way. Back down we go. Just taking a Stinian on me with my journey to find all the aetherites. He's like, you do this to every city you visit? Yes. Yes, I do, Estinian. Every single one. It's always a top priority of mine. Hall of the Radiant Host. Okay, I think that's the one I attuned to, so we need to go up and around that way. Also attune that one. And that. And that. Megadude is our destination, so we'll do that one last. Very interestingly laid out city. It's, very unusual. Very pretty. Very Indian. fact... Pardon me, just one moment, Estinian. There we go. Now I fit in. Alright. Dharma. Go back around this way. Over here is another shard. Alright. We'll have that, which is Airship Landing. Fascinating. And then... So we'll pick up the Airship Landing, and then we'll go back to this guy, and then we'll actually make our way up to Megaduda. Alright. Make Estinian move slightly faster. He's almost... Does he actually have... I don't think he has a sprint animation on, but I think his animation is slightly changed. Making both of us move slightly faster. Actually, it is maybe his sprint animation. Fascinating. Alright. Ha. 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 It's no Kugane, but... It'll take some work getting to that one, I think. Tune this one. Now back around this way. And this should lead us to the guy. Here we are. Life before death, Radiant. Heading to Megaduta, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance of the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll be in the workshops of Rudvea Fibers. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way. Quite an ordeal to get to the Satrap's residence. It could stand to be a more obvious route, like the one to the vault or Kugane Castle. True enough, Estinian, true enough. Yeah, Shallan definitely would have stood out in this land. It's like one of the very few, if any, Makote. If you were here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we are not here for an airship. We have business at Megaduda. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and continue straight ahead across the bridge. You can't not miss it. Confusing as it is, you'd think they'd intended to make a maze out of Razatan. Kagane was flat, at least. If you became lost, you could head to higher ground to get the lay of the land. Indeed. I bet you probably climbed Kugane Tower on your very first attempt, Estenian. I would put money that you probably jumped up there. You probably just straight up just didn't even bother with the puzzle. You just leapt. I remember passing by here with Varshan. The situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights. Life has yet to return to normal here, but when it does, you ought to pay another visit. Though the city is confusing, the food is quite good. I'm partial to hamsa myself, the meat surprisingly tender and flavorful. Interesting. Squawk, squawk! I think they heard you. Pretty sure this guy heard you. I mean, if it's anything like Dodo... Ooh, sightseeing spot. Should be relatively easy to get to. Maybe Estinian won't complain too much. Ah, there we go. I think I got Estinian stuck in the wall. Hooray! There he goes. It's like kind of his sprint animation, but probably not quite as exaggerated. It's still funny though. Alright, this should be the last Aethernet shard. Just cannot attune to the Aetherite itself yet. Attune yourself to all the shards in Razatan. Hooray! Didn't say anything about being able to teleport to the gate though. Alright. I don't see any sightseeing spots. Okay. Alright. Greetings and welcome to Megaduda. May I inquire after your business? We are members of the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, come at the invitation of His Excellency. Ah, of course, we have been expecting you. I will show you to the audience chamber, if you would follow me, please. Ah, Graha, good to see you're alive and unharmed. Relatively. You okay?
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
You're fine, Thancred, as long as Graha is in one piece.
Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
They didn't hurt you, did they?
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Same here, brother, same here.
Valiant sons, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Warding scales will certainly be nice for helping the others take down the towers.
Land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
They certainly are making use of the ravel headbands here. Which kind of makes sense, but at the same time.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
Oof.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
They'll grow back.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift.
I mean, we could have asked him to go somewhere ourselves.
His arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I guess he might still be sleeping from Omega.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydralin to whom we must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, Of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydaelyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
I love Kryl. She's so precious.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee.
Yes, it is. I only wish he could be here with us now.
I know of his clash with Omega, and the long slumber which was his price. Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee, watching over this world. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsummer's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Oh no, they're gonna save him for last, aren't they? Oh no, did they not show him? Oh, there he is. They saved him for last.
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Oh, And here comes Shallan's greatest conflict.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
It's fine.
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Such a conflict for Shallan because in order to save the many that she loves, she might have to kill the one she loves. And that is her biggest burden that has been weighing on her. She's accepted that she might have to do it, but it will rip her soul into pieces if she has to kill Xenos. Or if she watches him die. If she loses him in any way, her heart is going to be shattered. She is going to be in many, many pieces. But she has resolved to do it because of their son. Because of Shalana, she has determined that she will do what is required to preserve the future of this star. Even if it means having to strike down Xenos. It's just... it is a conflict in her soul that she is going to be dealing with this entire expansion until we know what happens. Oh boy. Oh boy. Our apologies again. I hope we didn't force you to conclude your conversation prematurely. So what were you and Breach talking about? Nothing? Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. Like his sister Tiamat, Vritra is possessed of a gentle soul. I'm glad they're on our side. Kinda wish we had known the real Bahamut. The one who was actually Tiamat's companion, not the summoned primal that we've encountered. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. Come, first let us return to the mulberry orchard. And they went ahead of me. They're not following me this time. And I'm not following them. And it is raining, and it is nighttime, and it feels so nice. I understand the mulberries are for the silkworms, grown a stone's throw away from the satrap's residence. It gives the quintessential Thavnarian flair, don't you think? From here, we're supposed to follow the path left past the mulberries. The word huge apparently means bind in the local tongue, and this district is so named because it connects all the others in the city. If we manage to come this far, we shouldn't have any trouble finding the High Crucible, or so I was told. Where the street turns, enter the door straight ahead and descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Razatan. This architecture and decoration makes it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. Color of joy. Are we going to pull out our flower and see what color it is? At least say. Phew, it seems we're on the right track. And here's the Aetherite Plaza. So far so good. There isn't much further to go. From here we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger of two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. You took your time. Got turned around, I take it. Though this land hath been afforded a respite, in turmoil do many others languish still. Our work is far from finished. What an immense laboratory. How many such places were enlisted to help with forge the warding scales, I wonder. I am quite well now, I assure you. As they say, the stronger the taste, and stranger the color, the more effective the remedy. With my body trying to replenish the ether I spent, however, I am feeling rather famished. I think a sampling of the local delicacies is in order. Hazmat cuisine would be a good place to start, perhaps. I mean, Estinian certainly thinks so. Speaking of. As I heard it, after you defeated Nidhogg, his scales found their way into the hands of the firmament's artisans. Steeped in power as they are, it's no surprise that they were coveted. Still, it is a strange legacy for the vengeful worm. The students have previously turned to Razatan's alchemists for help with the analysis of various artifacts. That is how I became acquainted with Nidhana. I'm glad we could rescue her, and pray she makes a full recovery. Excellent. You're here in time to hear the latest good news. We're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, they still have to fight some primals, but...
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations.
Oh, we're going to Garlemald next, not the moon.
Of course,
I'd assumed we would go to the moon
consult
next,
with
but...
various alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Yeah, hopefully Fandaniel won't decide to, like, destroy them or something.
Please, I must speak with you.
Oh, hi, Nidhana.
Nidhana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption.
That would be this girl. You see her?
It seems
She's
I've
precious.
been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidhana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnail from an awful fate.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true?
Yes. This music sounds vaguely Undertale.
Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it. Look at that. Its color is completely changed. What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
As foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions.
Oh my gosh.
Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of
I want to say spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities.
You mean using the limerick? Yeah, I have.
That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
Gonna go cuddle my baby. What little time I have left with him for now, before I have to run off again. The last thing I remember before being absorbed into the tower was you rushing towards me. I can only imagine the hardships you and yours must have had to overcome to rescue us. No amount of words will suffice to express my gratitude, but I hope that the flower's radiant glow says everything I cannot. Wow. That's been some heavy quests. Both joy and sorrow in equal measure. Just so much emotion poured into this one set of quests. And just this one quest. Go find a repair person real fast. My jewelry is looking a little banged up. Also, I did get something from the dungeon. Oh, I don't know if I can manage to see it, because it's been a while. Experience. Amulet of Aiming. Some sort of jewelry. I don't know if that's a bracelet or a necklace. been a bracelet? Yes. Yes, and this is definitely better than Exarchic gear, apparently. My level is now 515. Is Kryl the only one here? I think so. It's hard to tell when so many players are lingering around, but it can't be helped. It's good to be back, and with the fruit of our labors safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thancred suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Well, it is almost dawn. It's probably a good time for Shalyn to get some sleep. Mooncat that she is. Welcome back, Shalyn. Krylo has apprised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. That's a lot of carbuncles hanging out in here. Well, it isn't much. I've changed your sheets and plumped your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it penning a thesis or defeating deiform entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Sure. Thanks for the Archon loaf. I'm sure it'll be not tasty. It's gone back to gray. Oh, hey, we have our window open now. Yes!
Take heart and protect them well.
Oh!
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought
no.
quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Those donuts? With hamburgers and donuts and pizza? We're just regular. That burger is so big! Oh my goodness, these hamburgers. Cookies, we're so American right now. And Alphanos is properly drinking tea.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well.
Macaroons and muffins.
But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Sharlayan cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart. What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Sharlayan feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest, if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
God, just digging into that giant burger.
Mistress Kryl, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
Oh, did I tell you that, Raha?
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of of her present sins.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes?
Oh, that tart looks really good. This is making me want to get that
It will
cookbook.
be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Sandwich basket.
Indeed. And in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon, and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Tloforoi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively.
Graha, you're too much like me. Stop it.
Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
She's offering you the cookie. Take it, Raha.
They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Oh. I love him. Oh, I love him. He's precious. We ate all that food, except for that one donut and a couple cookies. Oh, and the muffin. So much food. Imagine Shallan just holding Shalana through this, too. Your beautiful little blonde baby boy. Are we pushing on until dawn?
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
Green? What does green mean? Peace? Possibly it means peace. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, hi there! Tell me the moon is full for you.
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled. and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the aether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more, and then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Sorry, I was so quiet. I was eating up every minute of that. Ah, goodness. Ugh. I want to rewatch that cutscene already. That was our first Xenos scene, and it's just further proves stuff. But I am going to actually take a quick break here. Because I have been going for a good long while, so I'm going to go ahead and break the stream, get up and stretch. I should be back in a few minutes. Let's see. Here we go. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Be amazing, and bye for now.